tried so many times to imagine that you're here. Pretend you're coming back, pretend that you're still near, but it's no use now, you've moved on. But just remember this, you got a piece of my heart. So please remember me, my love. Don't ever wash away those tears we both cried. And as we go our separate ways, I remember you each day. And maybe one day you'll return with my broken heart. Another lonely day, another sleepless night. I wonder what you're feeling and who's now by your side. I wish I could have changed the way the story goes, rewrite my life with you, and whisper one more time, amore mio, ti amo. 'Cause it's not easy to move on while I'm still so lost in you. You've got a piece of my heart, so please remember me, my love. Don't ever wash away those tears we both cried. And as we go our separate ways, I remember you each day. And maybe one day you'll return with my broken heart. This heart of mine belongs to you. You're so deep inside my soul. When two hearts beat as one, don't ever let go. Baby, just remember this. So my heart. Remember my love. We both cried. And as we go separate ways, I remember each day. One day you return with my heart someday. So please remember me, my love. Never wash away those tears we both cried. So never wash away those tears each day of my life. One day you return, you stay in my life. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been cool. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
And good afternoon, dear friends and family of the Circle of Love. How are you? Giada Valenti here in Las Vegas. Today is Martedì, it's Tuesday, July 14. I see a lot of you appearing. I see Australia, I see Las Vegas, and I see New York City. Hello guys, how are you doing? Of course, 2 p.m. if you're in Vegas, you know, the sun is shining. Also today we have a very hot day. So that's for Denise and Sal and all the people that I see, Frank La Placa, that are watching from Vegas. And for you guys in New York City, I know it's 5 p.m. there on the East Coast. I see you all guys there. I hope it's good weather. I know the humidity can be a killer in New York, so air conditioning home. You know, when I'm going live, normally air conditioning is off in my place. So in 10 minutes, I'm gonna be cooking right here, but it doesn't matter because, you know, I do anything for you. Remember, 100 days we went on every day together, and now of course I'm going live 3 times a week. We have decided that it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I'm working on having some Sunday on Patreon for some Love Song Sunday. So I will let you know when we are ready to go live on that platform as well. Today is Tuesday, and you know, on Tuesday, you know what happened. Oh yeah, I forgot. I see people from Australia. What about us? Good morning, Australia people. I know it's either 5 or 7 in the morning. I see you, Joyce, over there. And I see also people from Richmond, Virginia. So what time is in Richmond, Virginia? What is the central time zones? I don't know. Guys, anyway, wherever you are, I see Ireland and England, Antonio and all my friends over there, all my friends in Ireland and England. It's 22 at night, and of course, buonanotte quasi per tutti voi che ci guardate dall'Italia, perché sono le 11 di sera, è quasi ora di andare a dormire. It's almost time to go to bed for the people watching from Italy, because it's 23 at night. Maybe my mom and dad are watching, so mamma e papà, se ci state guardando, baci a voi. So we do always some sign language here in the Giada Life, thanks to Diane Fiorentino. So we know that this is friends and family, and you guys are my circle of love, and I do love you. So we learned so many signs. Well, my guest today, because today is Tuesday, and you know that on Tuesday, I always interview some friends that are celebrity, are American treasures of world treasures of music, cinemas. We had magicians. We had some amazing people. I agree with you. You always complimented me from my guest. And I mean, I'm just blessed that I got to meet those people, and it's my pleasure to share their beauty inside out and their talent and their story with all of you. My guest today, it's somebody that I met in New York City, actually, when I was living in New York. He was, they were giving him an award at Leone di San Marco in New Rochelle, and he was one of the honoree of that event. And I remember, by the way, the same time I met Robert Davi, that was my guest a couple of weeks ago, and I remember meeting him, Felix Cavaliere. I was like, gosh, Robert Davi, Felix Cavaliere, all these Italian names. You know me, I'm proud of my Italian heritage, so I remember talking to Felix. Honestly, you know that sometimes I have big black holes about music history, and because I was born and raised in Italy, I got here only 15 years ago, and I didn't know much about Felix until Felix went on stage, and of course they gave him an award, and then he said all his story, and I fell in love with the man. The man is a legend. It's music history. I know you all know about it, because when I mentioned his name, you were like, oh, I've seen him in concert. But for the one of you that may be in Europe like me, you never heard of Felix Cavaliere, he really is a treasure. This is my guest of today. He's been making people feel good. I'm reading here and pick it up from what they say around the web about him. He's been making people feel good since the start of his amazing career, spanning over 50 years. He looked like he's 50 years old. But anyway, he has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Songwriter Hall of Fame, the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, the Grammy Hall of Fame. And only a few artists, I said, can claim that they defined a generation, and surely did. Felix Cavaliere, he was the lead vocal and songwriter of the famous 1960 rock group The Rascals, the Young Rascals. They changed the name, we will ask why. And together with his partner, Eddie Brigatti, sounds Italian too, they have written some of the greatest hits of the 60s. From 1965 through 1969, the Rascals were one of the best-selling groups of the pop charts, with classic chart entries as How Can I Be Sure? Of course, now I know all this song. A Beautiful Morning, I love that one. I've Been Lonely Too Long. Groovin on a Sunday afternoon. This is like magic. And People Got to Be Free. Still very modern, that song. They were called the White Blue Eyed Soul Group, and they were signed with Atlantic Records, produced by Harry Martin, that's music legend, and guided by Arnett Artigan. You know, they discovered artists till Nora Jones came out thanks to them. Their greatest hits album, Timepiece, lived forever as a testament of their popularity, and each and every one of these songs. In all and all, they went on co-writing together, Felix and his partner, 7 albums together. Their songs have been recorded by artists such as Aretha Franklin, Olivia Newton-John, Kenny Rankin, Dustin Springfield, David Cassidy, Lulu, Marvin Gaye, Gloria Estefan, and so many more. After 4 number 1 hits, listen to this, 10 top 20 singles, 6 top 20 albums, 1 Grammy nomination, 4 Hall of Fame induction, Felix, my guest today, has continued his career after the Rascals as a producer, producing albums from Laura Nyro, we all love her, Jimmy Shipris, The Deadly Nightshade, I didn't know this last one, I had to Google it yesterday, and so many others, as well as his own solo project. And actually, with his own solo project, together with his Hall of Fame inductee and friend Steve Cropper, Nudge It Up a Notch, I like this title, they gained a Grammy nomination a few years back. Until COVID-19, so until last March, he was also traveling and doing concerts and entertaining all of us. Of course, now he's at home, like all of us, but he's working on many, many projects, and he will be sharing everything, the past, the present, and the future with us. I'm beyond honored and happy to share today one of the most amazing person I had the pleasure to meet in my life. He's appearing from Nashville, I think, from Tennessee for sure. I think he's in Nashville. And today is with us the one and only Felix Cavaliere. Felix, are you there?
I am here.
Welcome, how are you?
Oh, it's so nice to hear somebody pronounce my name right.
Well, yeah, because I heard they call you Felix Cavaliere.
Well, down here they stop when they say Cav. They don't try the rest.
Yesterday, of course, I spent the whole day listening all kind of interview and things I could find, and I heard that they were saying Felix Cavaliere, and I was debating with myself, shall I call him Felix or Felix?
Felix. So
Felix.
nice. As I say, it's a pleasure. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, and thank you for being with us. Listen, I have a question for you, Cavaliere. I mean, I know everything, but can you tell us, people, we have a lot of people of Italian heritage. Can you tell us about Little Felix, your name, your family, where was your family from, and where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born and raised near New York City, but my family comes from 2 places. My father comes from Cimitila, which is next to Naples.
Okay.
Now, in this little town, St. Felix was born. So I am number 3 Felix.
Oh, okay.
All the men were Felix, you know. So, and the interesting thing is that, anyway, just a quick story, but in Nashville, you know, they just opened a restaurant here, a pizza restaurant, which is the first one that I've been to because it's the only one that's good. And all of their ovens and all of their flour is from Naples.
Wow.
So I walk in the other day and they've got 3 ovens. One of them says San Felice. So I said, I must be home. And it's really good because it's the real thing like you have, you know. And then my mother's family, it comes from Ribera down in Sicily.
Oh, wow,
And,
Naples and Sicily.
See, so I got all the trouble, real trouble from there.
So me, you, and your parents, we represent the whole boots of Italy.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing. So, your mom and your dad, they were not into music, but you started very early in life to
Yes.
play piano. Can you tell us what made you fall in love with music at first?
Well, my mother, you know, she's the one that really wanted me to play the piano. She saw some talent, so she decided, you know, that I was going to be able to take piano lessons, which I did for 8 years. And it was very hard because I wanted to go out and play with my friends, and it was demanded that I take these lessons. Well, it's a good thing she did because I was able to, you know, learn music.
And when would you say that you understood, I mean, at which age more or less, and in which event you thought, hey, Felice, you can be a pop star and you can make a career into the rock and roll? When was it?
Well, I was in college to be a doctor. Actually, I
Wow.
was. My family was medical. Both of them, mom and dad, they were in that profession, and so I went. But while I was in school, I had the band, and the band started to become popular. So it's a nice little story. I mean, basically, what happened is that we took a summer off and we went to what is called the Catskill Mountains. Catskill Mountains in those days was kind of like Las Vegas without the gambling. Everybody went there. All of the entertainers. And it was like a
Yeah.
summer place for the New York, mostly New York people. While I was there, a group called Joey D and the Starlighters, which was a popular group at that time. They saw me and they invited me to Europe because their
Wow.
organ player had quit.
Hmm.
He had left them right in the middle of a tour. So I go there to Germany, and I have no idea that I'm going to be a musician, but I know I had some time.
Wow.
And who were they working with? They were working with this group called the Beatles,
Oh,
and
just a little.
nobody knew them in the United States yet.
Okay.
This was a long time ago, a long time, many
Wow.
years. So I see these guys on the stage. They had the long hair. All the girls are screaming. I said, I think I could do this. And seriously, that's the first time I ever really said, yeah, I could do this.
Wow. You mentioned the Beatles, and actually, when I don't know, did you go to work with Sid Bernstein or Bernstein? I don't know how you pronounce it. Here, you do met him in Europe, or when you came back from that?
In the United States. Basically, as the time went on, I was able to start a band, which was called at that time Young Rascals. And this gentleman came to see us,
Yeah.
Sid Bernstein. Now, he was also the same one who brought the Beatles to the United States.
Yeah. And I mean, what I like about the time that you are mentioning is that your audition was really performing on stage. So you had, for people that don't know, Sid Bernstein was one of the greatest impresario at the time. He came to see you, and I mean, did he already had brought here the Beatles, or was he starting with them?
Yes. No, he brought them already. He brought them twice. The first time he brought them to Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And the second time he had met us. As a matter of fact, it's a nice little story because they went to the Shea Stadium. Shea Stadium at that time was one of the biggest concerts in the United States they ever had. It was about 50,000 people. So while we were there, he puts on the scoreboard, the Rascals are coming.
Whoa.
The Rascals are coming. And their manager says, no, 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 no. You must take this down or we're not going to play.
Well, but the Rascal were coming because I
The
mean,
Rascals are coming.
I think that from the moment that you got discovered by him, 6 or 8 months later, you were assigned at Atlantic Records and you started to work with Arif Mardin. I mean, was that such a small time frame?
Well, it was actually 6 months from when we began the group that we had our deal. Because as soon as he came in to the picture, naturally he had all the connections with all the big people. And, so we were very fortunate to get with Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records was a wonderful, wonderful place for us. And the story goes basically, I wanted to produce ourselves. I didn't want someone else. So the Atlantic allowed us to do that. But God put Arif Mardin in the room with us. See, and that's the lucky that we had because he was a genius,
Ah,
brilliant. So he was in there as a associate. But what an associate! It's like the Beatles; they had George Martin, and we had Arif, who was such a gentleman. I miss him terribly.
I mean, I never had the opportunity to meet him, but of course, when I came here from the United States, I worked with Clive Davis, but Arif Mardin. How do you pronounce his name? Because I call it Arif Mardin, but how do you pronounce it in the United
Well,
States?
I think that's the correct way. I don't know, because like my name, I like to say his name correct if
Yeah,
possible.
and me, I mispronounce all the name, but I'm glad that you understood who it was. But I mean, it must have been like, because at the time, how old were you when you started with the Young Rascals? Which age are
I
we
was
talking?
about 19, something like that. Yeah. young. As I was just out of school. I was still in school. I was still in college. So we were very lucky. But I had a plan, and my plan was very simple. When I saw the Beatles, there
Yeah.
they are, those guys. When I saw the
Yes.
Beatles, I thought mostly they were a singing group. I liked the way they sang. I didn't think they were too much music.
Yeah.
I didn't think. So I said, and how about if I get good singers and good musicians? So I did. I went and I found these people who were kind of in New York City. They were working. Some of them were working with Joey D, and some of them, like the drummer Dino Donnelly, another nice
See.
Italian name. He was working in a place, and I asked him, "Would you like to try something?" And there he is, the one over here. Yeah,
Yeah, there you are.
Dino, Dino. See, and then we
See.
had one gentleman, Gene Cornish. I don't know where he came from. He didn't fit in with the rest of the Italians. Actually, matter of fact, he came from Canada originally.
Oh. I have a question because I mean, yesterday I was watching the old video. That outfit of the young rascals.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
outfit. Who was the brain who invented? I mean, was it something that you guys decided by yourself, or was just like now that you had a stylist deciding that that was the look?
Well, the interesting thing in those years, the audiences were 21 and over. That was the so-called the drinking age. So they demanded that you wear a tie
Oh wow.
on stage, and sometimes even a jacket. They wanted you to be dressed. Well, that was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really. So we tried to talk to the people at that time. We were still in the clubs. Uh, can we try something? And so we tried this outfit, but they said you got to put a tie on that outfit. So we ended up with a tie anyway.
I thought that you guys were cute, but then in the years, I mean, first of all, I have a question. And I couldn't find nowhere an answer, so I have to ask you, why the Rascals, the name?
Well, this is an interesting thing, because I think I've been writing a book.
Okay.
One of the reasons I'm writing a book is because when we did this tour the last time, which we're going to discuss, the
Yeah.
Broadway,
Yeah.
we had the four of us. And at the four of us, the press would come and ask us questions. Everybody had a different answer for the question. Everybody. It's like, were we in the same building? We were in the same country? So that's why I decided seriously to write a book. My story for the Rascals is there was this gentleman by the name of Soupy Sales.
Super.
Soupy Sales was an American comedian
Okay.
from actually he was from South Carolina, but he was very popular in New York City. Soupy Sales, very funny man. He had like almost a kids program, but it was very popular with the crazy people from the '60s. I think he gave us the name. I think he gave us the name. It's a nice story, but as I say, I think he gave us the name. He said, "What I'd like to call you, we can't print. So let's try this one."
Oh, I wish what was the original name that he wanted to give you.
He was such a lovely, lovely man.
Well, so we're going to be talk also at the end. What do you do? So you're writing this book. Do you have any deadline when we can see it happening?
When the virus is over, you'll see it.
So tomorrow, Felix, wrapped it
I
up. We
know.
want to have a cover.
Yes.
Well, this is amazing. You mentioned actually that not so long ago there was a reunion of the Rascals. You guys got together and you had this amazing project that yesterday I saw with Stevie Van Zandt, and you guys brought even the show to Broadway. Is there any footage of that? What happened to the things? There is going to be more reunions of you guys after COVID-19?
You know, uh, First question is yes, there is footage. Steve had a DVD made. It was called Once Upon a Dream. There he is in the middle there.
Yes.
And it exists somewhere. But where it is, I guess Steve Van Zandt, you have to ask him because the DVD was made of the show.
Yes.
Are we going to do it again? Well, unfortunately, health has become in the picture now with some of the guys in my band. So I don't think it can be again. I don't think we could
Yeah.
ever do it again.
Well, I mean, we have so much footage of you. I hope Stevie Van Zandt, if he's watching, that he can give us that material so we can enjoy that. But I know, Felix, that actually before COVID-19 happened and stroke, you were already performing everywhere. So my question to you: you are an exceptional, great songwriter because I mean, Groovin and all the road. Do you enjoy more producing, writing, or performing live?
That's a good question. You know, when I was growing up, I became aware of all those things: playing, writing, producing, singing. I love them all. I mean, seriously, they're all different, you know, and it's like, thank God I'm able to do those things, you know. So I enjoy them all, and what I'm missing the most now is being in front of people. I really miss being in front of people and playing and singing. I mean, most of the people I know from our era, you know, 50s, 60s people,
Yeah.
they love to play, man. You know, I mean, like I worked with Ringo for a while. You know, he does this All Star. He loves to play. You have to pull him off the stage.
Yeah.
They love it, you know, and it's in your soul. So that's one right now. I think I'll make that number one because I miss it so much.
Oh, well, I hope you are spending your time in COVID-19 writing songs there. And I have a question talking of song Groovin. Was it was not the first song you wrote, but I mean that song really, it's like will stay modern and famous forever. When you
I
wrote the
hope so, yeah.
song, did you knew you were writing a masterpiece?
No. It's a nice little story behind the song, you know. Uh, you know, being musicians, we work mostly on the weekends, the Friday, the Saturday.
It's true.
The women, they don't like this too much because the women, they say to you, what am I supposed to do? You know, you're out there working with, you know, like you call it work.
Yeah.
What do we do? So I had to write a song basically saying that, Sunday afternoon, that's for us, grooving. We're going to groove on Sunday afternoon.
Look at that.
That's really what the song was about. It was like a love song, you know, to someone who was, you know, lonely on Friday and Saturday nights.
Wow. I mean, when I got to interview also Tony Orlando and some other people that just like you as careers that are for artists like me or for everybody is like a dream. You guys have a dream career. Can you pinpoint one moment that you say that is the moment where, or one event, maybe not even music related, that you can say, I'm the most proud of? I wish my parents were here to see what?
Oh yeah, well that's it. You know, actually, you know, like the Songwriters Hall of Fame was a very special one for me. They have a very special thing. See, a lot of people don't know about this one because they don't have a building, they don't have a television show. It's just kind of private. It's called Songwriters Hall of Fame, and they have like these, you know, once a year, theatrical performances for only invited members.
Yeah.
So very small, but the group is fantastic. I mean, the people who are in that group are the best in the world. I mean, I'm so proud to be there. When that happened, I cried. That was the best.
I know you are Italian just like me, so I have a question that, I mean, I am not super famous yet, so I hope I can make something in my career before my parents are gone. Were
Yes.
your parents able to see the success?
My father was. My father was able to see some things, yes. My mom, unfortunately, no. But my dad, you know, my father, you know, he was a dentist, so he was very proud. My family, you know, we used to come to the dinner table while I was a rascal out, and my aunt, his sister, they would listen to me talk, and my aunt would say, and I'm sure you understand, she would look at my dad and say, "Well, where'd he come from?" Because no one in our family was in this crazy business that you and I are in. You know, they were all, you know, I mean, before them they were barbers. You know, my grandfather was barber. You know, my mother, my grandmother she's sewing. You know, I mean, they came over here from the other country. You know, they did what they could do. You know, and then my next generation, they were able to raise up. So it's a lovely story, and at least my father saw some of it.
That's beautiful. It's funny when you said, where is he coming from? That's what my mother every time she said, how do you do it? Where are you coming from? She doesn't understand because it's just like, you know.
Right.
But I had to study psychology because my parents were very supportive of songwriting and music and everything, but they said that I needed to study something serious. So I had a degree in psychology. Did they push you to do anything else than music?
Well, no, basically, I mean, you being from psychology, you understand. I mean, one of the problems is that my dad would tell me, he says, when I'm a doctor or I'm a dentist, I'm a dentist my whole life. But when you're a singer or a writer, you better keep making the hits,
It's
or
true.
you're not going to be a you're not going to be a singer or a writer for long. And
It,
that's very difficult to understand for young people, because when you're young people, you're fearless, you know.
yeah.
But the truth is, they're right. These psychologists, you can always work, you know.
I mean, I've never been a psychologist my whole life. I took the degree, and in the meantime, I was doing my music and my things and traveling and everything. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful that they pushed me to do that. And they always been
Absolutely.
supporting. But you know, parents want us to be safe and
Of
to have
course.
good lives. So, but I'm glad that at least your father was able to see Felix Cavaliere succeeding,
Absolutely.
becoming a superstar. I mean, if he's watching today from heaven, he's gonna be, my gosh, my son. Because
I'm the third, so
oh,
it is nice. The third. As I say, St. Felix one, St. Felix two, and me.
there we go. And by the way, in the meantime, we see all the people that are in the chat that they all adore you. They love your music. Yesterday, I got so many messages to people that had seen the Rascal and the young Rascals performing, and they to this day they. I mean, you're gonna be a legend forever. Talking of which, that actually is one of the reunion. When was taken that picture? Can you see the pictures, Felix, and tell me what that
Oh yeah.
was?
That was probably on the stage at Richard Rogers Theater in New York City, where we did the Broadway show. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful picture. Let's talk about love because you are Italian like me. Love, family, that's the most important things we have. I know you have the greatest love of your life. I got to meet her, Donna, with you. Is she there? Is she appearing for a second or no? She didn't want it to appear,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, because she didn't have lipstick.
I'm going to send her a text. I'm going to say,
Text
"Get
her
your
if she can
lipstick
get
on,
down.
darling."
But
Well, family, as you say, is very important. And I actually had five children, but
yeah.
I had four girls, so you must pray for me. I had twins. I have
You had
twins.
twins. Job well done, you know.
Thank
Twins are
you. Yeah,
double the trouble, my father would say.
yes, and of course, they're kind of grown now,
yeah.
but I mean, as you say, you really live through your children and their ups and their downs, and now we have the grandchildren, so uh, it's a major part of my life that I'm very proud of is the other kids.
Do you see any musical talent in any of them,
Oh,
children, grandchildren?
yes, but as I say, having like mostly daughters, uh, they see what this business really is. They see. I mean, I have a daughter who I named her Aria.
Nice.
Perfect, and she sings like an angel.
Like an angel.
So the angel now sings in church only
I know.
because she tried this business and she found, it's very tough. It's very tough. So you have help, you have a manager, husband,
Yeah,
you have people that help you, but you by yourself. So she
it is.
decided I'm going to have a family rather than do this. But she's very, very good singer, and all the kids have some sort of talent, But they kind of, for the most part, they see my journey, and they decided I don't think I'm going to do this.
If there is a young kid of girls watching and just dreaming to have a career like you, I mean, the business has changed from the 16 now. And I mean, I had this discussion also with Tony Orlando. He actually think that is more difficult to become successful now because kids, they don't have like a lot of time to get prepared. They just get one chance and they. Do you think it's really true? I mean, do you think it was more difficult in the 60s to become famous or now?
I think it's more difficult now, and because a lot of time you see the older people they talk about well, it was so good in our day and now it's not. There's too many people now trying to be famous.
Yeah.
See, In the old days, you had to be a little crazy to try this because, first of all, until Led Zeppelin came along, you really weren't making big money. You understand? You were making something, but when Zeppelin came along, it's a long story. They were international, really international. Even
Yeah.
Beatles, and Beatles made, don't get me wrong, good money. But for the most part, people who were under that, so there weren't that many people. Now it's just loaded with people. I mean, in this town, every time you go someplace, when
Oh.
we used to go someplace, you ask the waiter, "Well, what do you do?" "Well, I'm really a singer songwriter, but I'm doing this on everybody, everybody." So it is hard, and but you see, the good thing now for the women, there's a lot more women now making it than men.
Thank God,
I
yeah.
I, I don't know if you've seen that, but it's very
Yes.
true. Now I think it's because they have to work harder. There's no doubt I have to work harder, and they do, and you know, and then there's also there seems to be a style now where the 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 girls, the women, are writing for the young of their generation, and they really understand that generation, and the kids, the people who buy, they say, "Wow, that sounds like that was written. That's my song." So it's really interesting now, you know, and you know, as I say, I always felt writing was a good ticket, but it's just it's an interesting business that we have, that's for sure.
It is. I mean, if I couldn't find. If do you have other talents that have nothing to do? I had Nathan East, the famous bass player, and
I
he's
know.
attracted by magic and actually did some magic tricks. Do you have anything that we should be aware that we don't know about Felix Cavaliere magic something? Do you have another passion, tricks?
No, not really. I mean, I enjoy so many different things, but that's my main thing because I try to do different things, and I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy this because, as you say, you can do so many different things with music, you know.
It's true. While we're waiting for Donna, that hopefully she appear. Donna is the wife of Felix. She's an amazing painter, actually, beautiful woman. Because Felix, you have a good eye for beauty. I mean,
Well,
I found many
absolutely.
interviews that when you were a single man with the Rascals, you loved Sophia Loren. I heard she was your crush.
How did you know that? How did you know that?
I told
My,
you, you're not a secret anymore, Felix. I read
oh,
everything about you. I found actually an article, was a page, a tribute to the Rascals, where somebody asked each and every one of you which was your favorite color, which was your favorite ice
oh
cream,
boy.
what was your favorite kind of women. So I know everything. Felix, you're not a surprise. I know you love blonde women, and now you have a blonde appearing, hopefully
Yes.
soon. So where did you meet Donna?
Actually, I met Donna at Starbucks.
Wow.
Very nice story. I was watching the what they call the Masters, which is golf,
Yeah.
you know, and first time Tiger Woods was going to win, you know, very big thing. Black man winning Masters
Yeah.
is unheard of. And my phone rings, and somebody, she said, Linda was her name. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You don't understand. This is very important. I'm very busy right now." She says, "Well, I've got somebody. I just want you to come down and say hello." So I said, "Well, I'm very sorry. Right now, you know, it was the end of the match. I'm saying, what are you doing? This is impossible." So God must have had a different idea because all of a sudden, the next hole, it's over. So she called back. I said, "I can come." And
Perfect.
I go there and I meet this lovely, lovely girl. And I tell you, we've been together ever since. It's really was very charming, really, really lovely. You know, from that day to now, maybe apart, maybe 2 weeks. That's it.
That's
And that was
beautiful.
15 years ago, boy. You know.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
now
great.
with COVID-19, are you COVID-19 together with Donna by you two, or you have a bigger family in the house?
No, no, just two. Yeah, just two. Everybody's gone. They're all doing their thing, as they say. Yes.
So we're waiting for Donna. If she appears, we don't know. But in case, so I wanted to have her there. But otherwise, I asked you. Last time we had a lovely lunch together in Nashville, and when
Uh,
we saw each other, you had never been to Italy. But I remember I will say you have to go. So I know you have been there with Donna. Maybe she will appear. But can you tell me how it was to go to Italy?
Well, if she gets up here, she had never been. So I kept promising her, promising her, promising her. Well, we have this very famous restaurant in New York City. It's called Latanzi's.
Oh,
Latanzi.
see.
Vittorio Latanzi is the owner. Vittorio was born the same day, the same year as me, only he's from Rome and I'm from New York.
Wow.
One of the finest men I've ever met in my life. Anyway, to make a long story short, he moved back to Italy. He has a villa somewhere up north, a little bit north. And we found out from his son, because they still have this restaurant. It's in New York City, 46th Street, the theater district. It's fantastic. Anyway, he's having his second, what do you call, wedding. In other words,
Yeah.
we're going to So his son says, why don't we go surprise him in Italy? So now we have an excuse to go to Italy.
Wow.
So it was just magic because I was able to take her to Venice.
Oh,
I was able to take her to Florence. And then when we went to Rome, we had the wonderful pleasure of going and surprising him just as they're entering into the church for the second time to get married. He starts crying because we came up from the car. We were a little late. It was just fantastic. And she enjoyed it. If she comes up here, she'll tell you because she's an artist, as I say.
yes.
So the art in Italy, where's there better art than in Italy? I mean, I noticed when you go to the hotels up there, the Bellagio and those, they have a lot of Italian art. I wonder why that is. It's because
Yeah.
the Italians are phenomenal artists. That's why. And so she saw all that, and I don't think she'll ever forget it.
That's beautiful. There are some comedians, Felix, that made fun of me in New York, like Joe Piscopo and some others, because every time I do a show or I do something, it feels like I'm talking about American music history and American people. But then, of course, I'm always say he was Italian, like Harry Warren was Italian, Salvatore Guaragna. And be honest, Frank Sinatra is Italian, so they make fun that I make everything Italian. But don't you think it's true that you are Italian. How many members of the Rascals were Italians?
3.
3. There we go. And can you Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, just to mention big names, right? But I'm sure, is Stephen Van Zandt also Italian?
Well, I don't know. I think basically he might be because believe he was an adopted man, as a
Oh,
boy.
because
But you don't forget now the big Four Seasons now. The Four Seasons
there
are
we go.
tied up, and
Yeah,
there's very very dear friend of mine, Frankie Valli, and Bobby Gaudio. He lives here also in Nashville. But I was so proud of them, and we get into a situation as Italian because right now in the United States, we're going through a little bit of kind of trouble, not only
yeah,
because of the virus, but because people don't understand us.
yeah,
See, they don't
yeah.
understand us. So I've been fighting this battle since I was a boy.
No.
What do they think? We all with the mafioso? They all mafia? What? We all mafia? We don't have Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. We don't have that. We only have, Corleone, you know?
It's
Uh,
true.
I've been fighting this my whole life.
Yeah, but
And
you know what I always say though, Felix, because sometimes they ask me, Mia, being born and raised in Italy and being only here for a few years, I didn't have this kind of things, that I felt,
of
yeah.
course,
So I try to understand, but every time I say, my answer is this. If I see America with the eyes of somebody that was born in Italy and I see you guys, as I said, what makes me really proud of being an Italian person is you guys to watch what the Italian has accomplished, have done in this country. Let's be honest, the music scene, the Hollywood scene, the television scene in the past, in the
yeah.
present, and probably in the future, there is so much Italian heritage. It's like we have a special touch and love for culture. You guys have made America, and when I say you
I
just
understand.
mentioned Frankie Valli, Frank Sinatra, and John Bon Jovi is Italian. There's so many rockers and all kind of music, and
Dion DiMucci, Dion
there
DiMucci.
Dion, yeah. So
Well, the thing is that some people they have to change their name.
it's
See,
true.
like Tony Bennett is not Tony Bennett. He's Benedito.
Antonio Benedetto, sì,
See.
sì.
And you know, so a lot of people had to change their name because, you know, like I say, I make a joke, but the people
Yeah.
down here, they can't pronounce my name. They can't say my name. If I was Smith, it'd be easy. So I refuse to change my name.
No, but well,
And that's my father's name. That's my name. And it's true because most people they 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 feel it's easier, you know, if I change the name, you know. But nowadays, I don't think the people change so
no,
much.
actually, my answer is to the mafia thing is that okay, the mafia was a reality, but the reality is America is made of Italians. You guys create everything that is beautiful in this country, and I'm always say a good thing for us of Italian heritage. Now there are some artists that are faking Italian names because they want to be like us.
Ah, there you go.
There we go, right,
You know,
Felix?
it's not only that. I mean, it's the way, you know, like again, you know, the American movies, they go all over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world, people think, oh, you know, this is how Italians. We have the word, what is it, cafone?
Cafoni, sì.
I think we're all like, you know, what do they think? They don't understand that. You know, when I first went to Rome, and I saw how the people dressed, I was embarrassed because everybody was dressed but us. Here, you know, they don't understand. I mean, the way the people wear the clothes, the way they, you know, the way they, you know. I mean, my father was always with a tie. Even I said, Dad, we're having breakfast. There's no reason for you to have. You know, they
La
don't
bella
understand.
figura, the bella figura.
They don't understand that. So,
Yeah.
you know, where we met, which was that, you know, the Italian organization. I get a lot of the Italian organizations that, you know, give me the award, and I'm
Yeah.
happy for that. I'm really
Yeah.
happy.
Me too. I just take them, and I mean I'm very proud of my Italian heritage. I think everybody should be proud of wherever they are from, and keep
Absolutely.
working on making wherever they are standing for even more meaningful and beautiful. And I think actually, Felix, that you did it with your music because you have created American music that is
Yeah.
cheerful, meaningful. Because I know that the meaning of what you were writing was very dear to your heart. So God bless you for that. And I mean, so my answer is always I'm proud of being Italian. And when I see people like you, Felix, you make me even more proud of
Well,
being
thank you.
Italian. So I love you,
Maybe.
man. I mean, I don't see Donna appearing. I just wanted to show everybody she's beautiful, like Sophia Loren, because Felix loves Sophia Loren, so he married a blonde version of it,
I'll
and
tell you
she's
what. I'm going to
she's
make a phone call in my own house.
well,
Oh,
I
you know
saw,
what I'm thinking? You
guys,
know what
I
I'm
saw
thinking?
her before Donna, but she was not wearing lipstick. So she
She's
said, "I'm
really
gonna put
here.
lipstick," and then she's gone. So I don't know if she will appear in or not. But
You know,
I mean,
you know what I'm hoping. Donna, can you come up?
tell her she's live on the phone.
Come on, they're calling for you here. Come on, come on.
Don't push her. We don't want to. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is nice. The Felix is calling Donna. I,
Cooking.
she's coming. She's coming. She just needs to put some lipstick. She doesn't even need lipstick because she's beautiful even without. But if she'll
Thank you.
appear for a second, will be a joy to see her. I mean, I don't know if there is anything you wanted to tell us. So you're working on a book. Are you working on new music that we should expect soon?
Well, you know, yes. Basically, the book is done. We're just waiting for, you know, everything to figure out where we're going to try to sell it. Because even the stores are not quite open here yet. The
Yeah.
bookstore, things like that. And you know, the stage, as you well know, we're not working. The album I just finished. Also, I'm getting it
Okay.
finished up. You know, I just, you know, I feel that, you know, at least we can make music while we're sitting, you know, waiting. And
Yes.
you know, we'll see. But maybe it looks like the next year is going to be the beginning of everything here because we're not getting slower here. We're going faster,
Yeah.
and with the virus, and it's really a little worrying, you know, to go out and play and to
Yeah.
worry. You know.
We have to keep quiet at home and creating and doing things. But please, Felix, when you have anything ready, just let me know because I see many of your fans appearing that they just love you. Karen Gianni, she's from Pittsburgh. She said, "I love Felix. I watched the whole
Great.
episode later to get the." She's getting a haircut now, so she's not even watching us, but she wanted to tell you that she's watching you later because yesterday actually you have a big family in Pittsburgh that loves you. And they keep
That's nice.
so
Well, there's a big Italian community in Pittsburgh. Some of the finest food in America is in Pittsburgh. It
yeah.
really is.
And the good thing, Felix, we are everywhere.
Ah,
We are. Is it
Bella
Donna there?
Donna.
Donna
Bella
is
Donna.
appearing.
Hey, here you
Welcome,
go.
Donna. It's like
Say
she's
hello,
coming.
darling.
Look at her.
Did you get the lipstick?
Did you get some lipstick, hon?
No, she did.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Donna. As I said, she doesn't need any lipstick. So there you are. Thank you for appearing for us. It was bragging about your love story, how you guys met at Starbucks, you saw. So all the people that are single ladies, single boy, go to Starbucks. Did you hear the story that Felix said? So how are you, Donna?
Right. Thank you.
So we love him. We know he's a great man, but tell us, is he really as great as he said he is?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Felix, get out for a second. Donna, how is Felix Cavaliere?
How is Felix Cavaliere?
Yes.
Italian.
So basically means the best.
The best. Yes,
Yeah. She.
the best.
You know, I don't know if there's too many Italians in Arizona. I think I kind of surprised her.
She found the best. You see, even in Donna is from Arizona, and she met Felix. Donna, it's almost time to leave this interview, but did he ever wrote a love song for you?
I did.
Yes.
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 What was
I
the title of
send you
it?
that.
Yes.
I should send you that. I wrote a song for her for Valentine's one year.
Please do send it. And
Yes.
Felix, if you ever are in the mood to write a beautiful love song for me to sing, please send it to me.
Well, listen to this one. See if you like this one.
There we go. So Donna, I may be singing the song that he wrote for you.
Wouldn't that be
Felix,
nice?
Donna, you two are just a joy to having my life. I mean, everybody's writing all these beautiful messages. Guys, stay safe. What can I say? I really hope that one day soon we're going to be together again for a real embrace and some music and joy. And until then, I would just say, kiss each other, be happy, keep creating beautiful things. Donna is an amazing painter, so keep painting. The world needs beauty. Guys, I love you so very much, and thank you so very much for having spent all this time with me. And this is the sign in sign language for I love you. So guys, I do love you, and I really hope to see you both very soon. Thank you so much, Felix. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
We
Bye.
love you. Thank you, Donna, for appearing for us. Ciao. Thank you. Love you
Bye.
guys. So was that amazing of what? I see you guys are living all this pouring of love on the world. Hi, Donna. Hi, Giada. Great seeing Felix. I know they are two amazing people. On screen, off screen. I mean, they're just amazing. I'm going to read all the comments. And by the way, if you have any questions of things that you want me to answer, or Felix, to a matter of fact, to know, make sure that you write wherever comments of things you want to write on the under the video. So under the video on YouTube, there is a button for the like. So like the video, please. And then underneath, you can leave your messages. And then wherever message you leave underneath, I will be able to see and answer back to you. And keep subscribing to my YouTube channel. You know, we are not singing anymore because on YouTube there is no music. That's another thing. So keep subscribing to YouTube. As soon as I'm going to have all my Facebookers on YouTube, I'm gonna be able to bring everything on YouTube, and here on YouTube we have more freedom to do anything. Also today I wanted to play some music of Felix. We can do it because otherwise I already know they're gonna block the video and it's gonna be like a disaster, because I mean it would be nice to have some video of Felix and the Rascals doing all their music. So thank you to my guest. And before we go away, quickly, we always have every day. First I want to show you a picture and remind you that you only have a few days to watch my From Venice with Love. That was the opening of the Redland Bowl Summer Music Festival on YouTube. I think it's available for you to watch until tomorrow, Thursday night. So you can go, I see, from the 10th until the 17th, you go on YouTube, and the website is youtube.com, Redlands Bowls. And if you guys are watching, last week I saw a bunch of people, or people I know and people I didn't know, that posted pictures of them watching my music special outside with wines and crackers and friends. So if you do so, please do it. And I have here a picture actually of our dear friends of the Circle of Alejandra from Uruguay, from Montevideo. She sent me a pictures of her enjoying the From Venice with Love from her computer. Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she always signed the letters and messages with a basket of kisses. So a basket of kisses to you, dear Alejandra. And thank you for sending me that pictures, and she always sends me a lot of information about Uruguay, the country where she's from, but of course she's also of Italian heritage. So I know you guys love that picture. I don't think Alejandra is with us, but she will watch in the show later. So you guys, if you watch my show From Venice with Love on YouTube / Redland Bowls only for a few days, make sure that you take a pictures of yourself and you send it to me. Before we go to other things, here we're gonna do very quickly the birthday and events of the day, because it's a traditions and we all love that very much. And that's happened thanks to my dear friend Doug Artline in Sacramento, I was saying. In Sacramento. Here we go, July 14. Very important day for French people. Here we go, 1789, the Bastille Day. The French Revolution begins with the fall of the Bastille prison. When the Bastille fell, the revolution took off and will continue for another 10 years, permanently changing the face of France and influencing politics, philosophy, and the society in Europe and beyond for centuries. And today is a national holiday for our friends over there. So happy Bastille Day for you in France. And still stay in France, in 1795 today, the French National Convention decrees that La Marseillaise by Claude Joseph Roger de Lille was the national anthem. It goes like les enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire sont arrivés. If you want to hear the rest and the good version of it, go on YouTube and you find many versions of it. It's a very nice national anthem. So happy National Day to all of you there in France. 1850, the first public demonstration of ice made by refrigeration is made in Florida by physician John Gorey. There it is. There is actually an ice machine museum in Apalachicola, Florida, which houses his machine. That's the machine, a very big one. And Doug was wondering, how come that the American love so much the ice and not so much the European? Doug, I don't know, I'm not American, so I don't know why you guys in America put so much ice in your glass. I can tell you that we in Italy, we don't put much glass in our glasses because it liquefied a little bit and wherever we're drinking. So we like the strong taste of wine, cola, wherever we're drinking. So we don't put much ice. I found here on the New York Times actually, that according to the New York Times, the theory about American loving so much the ice, and you guys have to tell me if it's true, has to do with the American more is more mentality. Because somewhere along the line, free drinks refills became the norm, giving customer lots of ice was actually seen as adding rather than subtracting values. You guys should tell me if that's the reason why you love ice so much, or just you love ice. Going further with the events of the day, 1902, today, July 14, Il Campanile di San Marco Square, the bell tower of San Marco Square, fell down in Venice. Fortunately, no one was killed, there's a picture, except for the caretaker cat, was the only fatality, apparently. The same evening, though, of the collapse, just for you to know, the Communal Council approved 500,000 lira, which at the time was a lot of money, for the reconstruction of Il Campanile that was rebuilt in 10 years' time and opened again on April 25th, 1912, on the occasion of St. Mark Feast, exactly 1,000 years after the foundation of the original building. There is the pictures of my blog, From Venice with Love, blogspot.com. If you have never read it, because maybe you are new on my Circle of Love, you can go there and you can read all about it. And of course, I write there a lot of things about Venice, facts, food, and all kind of things that happen in my life. Like, so if you want to know more, you can go on my blog. I think I've never shared that. And actually, Doug shared also funny things about his visiting of the Tower of Venice. He said that while he was visiting there with Susan a few years back, he remembered that someone tried to pickpocket him, which is not unusual in Venice, so be careful. In an elevator, the elevator that takes you up to the bell tower. But he said, I kept my money in a money belt and put a fake wallet in my back pocket, which was safety pinned to my pants with a rubber band to trick any potential pickpocketers. Pockets. So the pickpocket got a surprise. For sure, Igor, maybe in Venice they're still talking about you, Doug. And going further with the events, 1914, Robert Goddard is granted the first patent for liquid fueled rocker design. There is a picture. While this was unfortunately used in warfare, it also has changed the world for the better, as it was the technology that enabled space explorations. 1939, when the Harris James Band recorded From the Bottom of My Heart in New York on this day, the new vocalist was a skinny youngster called Frank Sinatra, cutting his first single ever. He was a 2 years contract and was paying $25 a week, which apparently at the time was good money. Birthday of the day, here we go. 1486, Andrea del Sarto, an Italian painter, is born in Florence, Italy. We go to Italy. His works are so beautiful that even famous poet Robert Browning wrote a poem inspired by him, called it the Flawless Painters. Robert Diamond, of course, you know, there are the paintings. And by the way, at school we had to learn that the face of the Madonna of Andrea del Santo was always the face of his own wife. Apparently he was married to a beautiful woman. And I was saying that Robert Browning, I love his poetry, and if you have been to my concert, I often sing a song of John Lennon called Grow Old With Me, which was inspired by a poem of Robert Browning. So I love his poetry. 1834, James Abbott McNeill Whistler, the artist who painted the priceless Whistler's Mother, there is on the picture, is born in Lowell, Massachusetts. A lot of paintings today. And in 1857, Frederick Louis Maytag, American businessman and head of the Maytag Company, is born in Elgin, Illinois. There was a time when it was a standard for appliance quality, and Maytag repairmen were considered the loneliest men in town because they never needed to repair anything. Of course, time has changed, Doug is saying, I don't know, but Maytag I think still exists. In 1910, William Hanna, the American animator of Hanna-Barbera, that produced cartoons like The Flintstones, The Jetsons, Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo, and many, many more, was born in Melrose, New Mexico. As you remember me, I've learned English while watching Cartoon Networks and Yogi and Boo Boo and The Flintstones. So thank you, William Hanna. And in 1912, Woody Guthrie, American folk singer, famous for one of the most famous songs about America, The Land Is Your Land, is born in Okema, Oklahoma. There he is. 1928, Nancy Olson, American actress in films like Absent Minded Professors and Pollyanna, is born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and turns today 92 years young. And in 1946, present, still alive, and also a friend of mine, actor Vincent Pastore, best known for his portrayal of Salvatore Big Pussy Bonpensiero on the HBO series The Sopranos, was born today in the Bronx, New York, and turned 74 years old. While living in New York, I got to meet him several times. That's one of the pictures with Vinny. So happy birthday, Vinny! 74 years young. Many, many more to you. Last birthday of the day, July 14, 1960, Jane Lynch, the actress whose role as PA teacher Sue Sylvester in Glee earned her Emmy Award, as well as People's Choice Award for Favorite TV Comedy. As an actress, was born today in Evergreen Park, Illinois, and turns today 60 years old. I love her in the Amazon comedy The Marvelous Mr. Maisel. If you have not seen her, that's a series that you really have to catch on Amazon Prime. Marvelous Miss Maisel. You're gonna love it. And she does amazing over there. So guys, this was Giada Valenti, born and raised in Venice, Italy, appearing not every day anymore, 3 times a week with Giada Live, after 100 episodes, one after another. And this is my new summer schedule. It's Tuesday, like today, celebrities interview, Thursday, Italian cultures and lifestyle, and Saturday in the kitchen, making some delicious, easy and delicious food for you. I'm working on something on a Sunday. I wanna call him something like Love Song Sunday. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this Sunday. If it's not this Sunday, it's next one. So it's not really a concert, it's only a few love songs that you guys will be able to choose and pick up for me from a couple of them. I will let you know. And of course, those Giada Lives will be happening on my Patreon page. So make sure you join me on my Patreon page. JJ, do we have a link from Patreon? Maybe JJ is looking for a link. There he is. Patreon.com/Giada Valenti is a subscribe page. And the reason that we can make music there is a private Facebook. So we can do whatever we want there. I can sing, play, dance, do wherever I want, nobody will ever complain. And the minimum of the subscription is $1, so you can go from 1 to 50. I saw Roger Scallion appearing, and Sal and Diane, and many of you are already members on my Patreon. I call my Patreon family my team. Awesome. So thank you guys for your support there. If you want to see this episode with my amazing guest today, Felix Cavaliere of the Young Rascals, of the Rascals, Music History, Music Royalty, you can always go back on giada.live and you can watch all the episode. I'm going to have a break and have a glass of something to drink. On Thursday, we will be talking about wine. You remember, we always have wine. Today, actually, I didn't have wine with me. And, you know, I'm not an expert on wine, but I'm learning more about wine. So Thursday, we are going to Italy. We're going to be flying to the booth of Italy, and we will be drinking together some wine and talking about some spectacular things happening in Italy. Guys, Giada Valenti here in Las Vegas. It's almost 3 p.m., I think. 3:04, so we spend 1 hour together. I want to thank you all. If you have anything that is important for me to know and answer, make sure that you like the YouTube page and you leave me the comments on the wall underneath the video, and keep sharing the news that I'm doing this 3 times a week with all your friends and family. I love you guys, and I'm gonna be see you on Thursday to go and fly together to Italy. Buona giornata, have a good day, and I will be seeing you on Thursday. Ciao, a presto.
Dankeschön, dear old Dankeschön. Thank you for seeing me again. Though I'm here in my solitude, I know you are there, and in my heart I smile again. And so I sing here in my solitude, waiting to see you, same time, same place, and I can't wait to say again, Dankeschön, 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 dear old Auf Wiedersehen. See you tomorrow. A domani.